Bang, bang. We are back in the golf action after a week break. We have one less dad. Dustin is here. Price is a no-go. Dustin's going to be breaking down the course preview. If you're new here, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We give out a lot of free content. Also, check us out on the socials. Twitter and Facebook is where we're at. We give out cash cores for NFL lately. That's been fire. Thank you, Dustin Reed. Give out other plays as well. So follow us there. If you want to, use code RC. Save yourself some money. DFSdads.com. Now, in this video, we're going to break down the golf tournament this week and go over our favorite plays early on in the week and let you know what you should be looking at as you dive deeper into your research. Dustin, let's go over the course preview. What are we looking at here? Where are we going?
Yeah, so this one's a shorter course down in Mexico, playing just over 7,000 yards, par 71. Like I said, it's pretty short. All the par fives play under 555 yards. There's only one par four, or two par fours that play over 460. So kind of initial, you would think, okay, I want long bombers, but the course isn't necessarily designed that way. There's a lot of hazards if you miss the fairway as far as water. And so the course has actually played well for some shorter hitters. We saw Brendan Todd win last year, which we'll get into some of that later on. But down in Mexico, some corollary courses to this one are Harbor Town, PGA West, Colonial. And so, you look at shorter courses that are easy as far as scoring. You want guys that are going to hit the fairway, as we get into the metrics later on. So it's going to be a fun one. We actually have some good players at this event, and JT, Finau, some of the headliners. So I think it's going to be a good one, and should be plenty of scoring out there this week.
Yeah, there's a par 3 that's 116 yards. That's a par 71, so there's only five. I mean, there's only three par fives. So that's a bummer if you're a bomber, right? Because you want to take advantage of those par fives. Also under 7,200 yards. But the biggest thing, 116-yard par 3, that's the type of course that I think I could play in. So naturally, you're gonna want to, at these shorter courses, look for people that have good approach shots for 125 yards, 150 yards. Wedge play is very important. Short iron play, and then also the driver. What's crucial is accuracy with the driver, or if you're a longer hitter, that you're good with the 3-wood. So those are the types of off the tee that I'm looking for. Someone accurate on the driver, or if you're a long hitter, that you have a good 3-wood in your bag. These greens are a little bit larger as well, and so I'm excited. Anytime we can bet on something, we're excited. And the field is actually pretty good. So let's get started with the field. Let's go.
Hold on. What type of greens are they?
You can say. I forget, what is it? Pala something. Papasalum. Pastelum. Explain to me what a pastelum green is there, Dustin.
Yeah, so this being Price usually handles the course preview. So if I stumbled over myself and forgot the green type, I'm sorry. Paspalum. I'm pretty slow on the stip meter. So it's not going to be as hard as a putting surface. You're not going to see them run by 5 to 6 feet. So the putting should be fairly easy for the pros out there this week. But so take that for what it's worth.
All right, let's break down the top of the range here and then work our way down. All right, I'm going to start here with Harris English. He just pops off my model. He does everything really well. The only thing, his proximity 125 to 150 is the only stat that I don't like there. But he also has he's killing it. Strokes gained, he's destroying it. So 9 strokes, 2 strokes, 7 strokes, 13 strokes the last 4 tournaments. He's been doing good. Finished top 10 2 of the last 3 tournaments he's played, and I believe he got 5th here. Let me just make sure here. Harris English last year he got 5th. So up top, the lower end range is where I'm going. You got a lot of big hitters up there, Dustin. Are you feeling Harris English, or are you going somewhere else?
For me, Harris English, I mean, obviously in the fifth last year, he was cut 16, 17, 18, and then 68 the year before. So I'm not necessarily sold on him for 10-1. As far as who I like up there, I mean, JT's got to be the easiest. He's pretty top 5 in my model. Obviously coming off, I think he's 4th at the Masters. So great form. If I'm going to play somebody 10 and up, it's going to be JT. But probably this week I'm going to try to do more balanced build. And so I'll probably start somewhere in the 9K range for my entry piece. But I like JT. Brooks showed me something, the last time out. So I would probably stick to one of those two. But if you want Harris English, have at him.
All right. What about the next range here, Dustin? Where you can start us out, and I hope you don't pick my guy.
Well, I probably will because we play out this year. But there's 3 guys I'm looking at, and my absolute favorite is Russell Henley. He's number 1 in my model. He literally is almost number 1 in every. And 1, 2, 3, 4 of my metrics, he's number 1. So he probably will be a pretty automatic play for me. Trying to see what he did. He got cut last year, which is kind of worrisome. But like we've talked about before, you can't just. It was over a year ago. So and he finished 29th the year before. So I like him this week. Victor Hoblin, who I was assuming who you were going to talk about, comes in at number 7. He's at 9,700 on my model, and then Corey Connors at 9K. So those are 3 guys that I'm looking at. I'll probably have 2 of them in there. We see our boy Will Zalatoris again. It's kind of a kind of course he can play well at, but Ricky scares me.
Man, I mean, you're gonna name all the golfers or what in this range? You gonna leave me anybody? Luckily,
I'm just going through them.
I mean, luckily you can only play 6, you can't play 6 in the 9K either, Dustin. So Abraham Answer, the one guy you did not say, is number 2 in my model, 9,900. So he's kind of pricey. He's pretty much in that 10K range. You most likely have to choose between like a Harris English and an Answer if that's the route you want to go, or you can try to play both and then really play a Stars and Scrubs approach. But what I really like is Tee to Green. For me, he's number 1 on 3 different categories, but the 2 categories that mean everything is 125 to 150 and even like 100 to 125. He's 1st and 6th on both of those categories. So a shorter course, he's going to tear up. This is the type of course that he's going to excel at. So with that being said, I mean, if I had to pick between anybody up above 9,900, I really like Answer. Like, granted, Justin Thomas is the best player in the world, right? And he's obviously a better play, but for the price and the savings, I really like Answer this week. Now,
I think he's a Mexico native. I know he grew up in the valley down there in South Texas. So yeah, it's almost coming home for him too. So you always got to have that little.
For sure. I like Zalatoris, just like you said. Will Zalatoris is a young gun who, whenever I run the model here, it's hard to get some of the stats for him because he hasn't played some of these events that we need him to match the model. But he's a great player. He's a great young player. You can always throw him in there. I don't know if he will fit in my final build, but I'm putting a star next to his name of an early person in the week that I'm looking at targeting. I worry that he's not going to make my final build because I really like Answer and I really want to play Answer. And then the defending champion, 8,600, Brendan Todd. What did we say that you need to do off the tee? You need to be able to be accurate driver of the golf ball if you don't hit the ball far, and that's what Brendan Todd is. He's very accurate off the tee. And birdie or better in a course that's easy is a stat that I'm targeting, and he's 3rd in my model there. So what's interesting is in my model, his proximity 100 to 125 yards is really bad, like really bad. But I don't know. I just don't. That's just one factor, right? So I really like Brendan Todd in cash more so than GPPs because I think at his price point, 8,600, people aren't as familiar with this tournament and they're going to go, oh, this is the defending champion, 8,600, lock and load. So for a tournament play, I'm probably going to not be on him, but he's a fine play there. And then Grillo. Grillo is someone I want to hit on as well. He's been playing brilliantly lately. The RSM, he gained 5.9 strokes gained. The Houston Open, he missed the cut. He didn't do good there. But then the week before, he gained 4.4 strokes, then 3 strokes, 2 strokes, 5 strokes, 5 strokes. So he's been on a tear lately. And this course, once again, fits his narrative. So if I go in this range, I'm going to go. I kind of went past the 9K range and into the 8K range, but I really like the Grillo and Answer is a hell of a start. And you could throw Harris English in there if you want to continue going lower. So that's where I'm at, Dustin. Fill in the gaps for me.
So I'm all about Grillo as well. He rates great in my model. Like you said, playing well, and he has good tournament history here as well. So you have a lot of things clicking for him as far as his favor. You know, the tournament history, the current metrics, his recent form. So I really like Grillo, 8,300, easy to fit in any type of build. So, you know, he'll probably be a staple in my cash core. And then the other guy, so I like the lower end guys here. You know, I like Russell Henley at 993, Corey Connors at 9. And then I dropped down to 8,300 Grillo. And my boy I have a love-hate relationship with.
Joel Dahman. He finished 6th here last week.
Yeah, and you know, he's one of those that scoring courses, he can literally just light it up. I mean, he shot 9 under one time this year in a round. So he's just somebody I like at 8,000 that I think is just, you know, going to get a ton of birdies. You know, he's going to have those holes where he screws up, but it doesn't necessarily matter at 8,000 as long as he can get a ton of birdies and make a cut. So I like Joel Dahman. He's 26th in my model, so he ranks out pretty well there too. Just another guy that has a lot of things clicking for him. You got any final thoughts on the 8K range before we jump down?
No, because I'm gonna pick somebody. I think I'm gonna pick either Grillo and Dahman are my two. After I don't think I'm going to go up higher than that because I like some of those higher end 9K guys that we talked about from Harris English. That's 10-1, Answer 99. And so I'm going to pick some of those lower guys. I think Grillo and Dahman is what I'm really targeting. And then in the 7K range, just to start with, my favorite play, $7,300, Pat Perez. So Pat Perez, birdie or better, is first in my model. He's also first in DraftKings points and 7th in putting, and everywhere else he fits pretty good. And what I really like also about Pat Perez was his tournament history here. So if I look him up at $7,300, now remember this, $7,300, he's finished the last 4 years, 1st, 34th, 6th, and 8th. 3 out of the 4 years he's finished in the top 10 and has won 4 years ago. So he has good tournament history. This type of field at $7,300, lock and load Pat Perez.
What about his recent form, though? I mean, he's pretty terrible. He has a withdrawal and 2 cuts. That doesn't worry you at all?
And that's why he's $7,300.
Well, I mean, that's just pretty bad form. I mean, but you said, tournament history and going back to a place you played well.
Yeah, and that's I don't disagree with you, but that's the reason. Like you're like, hey, yo, RC, this man, his tournament history is amazing, and a few of his stats are glaringly good. So why is he 7,300? It's because of his recent form.
Yeah.
Another guy that I really like at the low 7K range, I would like him at the high 7K range, to be honest. I'm just thankful that he's $7,200. Lucas Glover, who does not wear a glove, he ranks 6th in my model. He really stands out in my model. He's top 10 in every category except for 2. So Lucas Glover is a great play this week, in my opinion. What are you looking at over here, Dustin? I'm kind of intrigued where you're at with a 7K range.
It's kind of tough. I mean, on one hand, like HV3 rates out pretty well for me, but he's just been so up and down. Just, I think cut, then he was a top 20, top 15, something like that, and then cut before that. So just kind of up and down, and a guy I'll have to look at. When I get down to these ranges, I really try to dig in and look beyond, not necessarily just recent form. Like you said, got to kind of blend it all together, figure out why they're playing bad, why they're not playing bad. It's a lot easier with those top end guys because we see them week in and week out. You get down to some of these guys and, you really have to dig into the metrics. So guys offhand that I like, Sepp Straka. We've been on him most of the year, especially early on when he was playing well. Kind of regained that form. He has tied for 21 at the Bermuda, tied for 5th at the Houston Open, and then tied 44th at the RSM. So he's been playing pretty good, making cuts. He's another guy that can birdie a lot. So I'm looking at him. Sabatini, kind of a course that's kind of suits him. He was 12th at the RSM, so some good form coming in. Shorter course, which suits him, like I said. So kind of take a look. Denny McCarthy's always intriguing because of the putting. There was one other guy I was looking at that I really liked. Where is he at? I think it's Ches. Yeah, Ches Reavie. I know he missed the cut at the RSM. Played really well at the Masters. It's not another guy that's not a super long hitter, pretty accurate. Let me see what he ranks in my model here. Yeah, he's top 10 in my model. Does a lot of little things right, just not as far as a hitter as some of these other guys. So really like him, looking at him, Sepp, and who was my other one that I said? HV3?
Yep, HV3.
My 3 guys from this range that I'll dig into a little bit more. Probably take one of them.
Well, now we're going to get to the bottom dwellers here, and I'll let you start us off here at the 6K range. Hey, all I'm going to say is do not say Zhang Zhang. He has been on a tear in the wrong direction.
I know. So if I can phone a friend, I'm going to call Price and see if he knows these guys from the Corn Ferry Tour. Now, Brian Stewart at 6,900, kind of intriguing, ranks out top 20 in my model. Let's see what he's done. Obviously you get down here, he's back-to-back cuts, but he had 2 made cuts before that. So, when you get down here, it's like everything's cut. They might have one, made tournament. Roger Sloan, 6,700. Just recent form's really good. Top 6 or tied for 16th at the Bermuda, and then a top 25 or top 25 at the RSM. Man,
it gets pretty dark down there, honestly.
It's really dark. And this for me is why I'm staying away, especially my cash from the JTs probably, because I don't want to venture too far down here because it's a mixed bag of goodies. Is there anything that sticks out for you?
Personally, I like a few of the players on the lower 7K range. I think there's a lot of really good players. Even players like a Charlie Hoffman or Adam Hadwin, Vaughn Taylor. Like there's a lot of good low 7K range guys to where I personally don't want to touch this because there's some players that I like in the 6K range, and then I look up their recent form, and it's like -5 strokes, -8 strokes the last few tournaments. Like Zhang Zhang, like a Luke List is someone you might want to look into. Tyler Duncan, like all these players have been Will Gordon is another guy that I've hammered, and his last few tournaments, like I'm just gonna look him up because I know it was bad when I first.
Yeah, he was bad at the RSM, but before that,
He's actually doing a little bit better recently
Yeah.
than I thought. I feel like he's been really bad lately, and then. So you know what? I might have found a little gem here. I mean, he's not doing wonderful, but he's actually not doing that bad for this price range. You know, Will Gordon at 6,800 might be someone to look at. Like Brendan Steele is somebody I looked at, 6,700. He rates out my model really well, actually, but his last time out, he lost 14 strokes, and then he lost 9 strokes, and then in October 18th, the CJ Cup, he lost 8.6 strokes. So I'm out. You know, show me something. So Will Gordon might be somebody. The one person that I think is intriguing, they don't fit this course perfectly, is Max Homa at 6,800, and he's someone that I want to look a little bit further into. He's wildly inconsistent, but his form at the last 3 terms has gotten better. Like he got hot the 3M, finished third there early in the summertime, and then just went on a tear of playing bad, of losing 5, 6, 8, 2 strokes a tournament. So then he ended up in beginning November, got 34th and 48, made the cut, gained strokes, and ended up not making the cut at the Masters. But look, it's the Masters, right? It's a specialist type of tournament. It's a very difficult tournament. So I'm not going to take that against him like he's in bad form. So I think his form is coming around, and it's a weak field. And at 6,800, I think he's a flyer to look into. I'm gonna look a little bit deeper. His par 4 from 400 to 450 is not well, but some of his other stats are not bad. Like his proximity, because it's a wedge course. He's 25th and 34th in both of my wedge type of stats I'm looking at, which honestly isn't bad. His approach is 15th. It's a little bit bigger greens. You know, I'm not mad at Max playing him at 6,800. That's all I got to say. That's all I got.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, anybody down here in this range is going to have glaring, issues as far as their golf game. That's why they're down there. So you just gotta, figure out what fits the course the best and their metrics and their form coming in and their tournament history, and figure if you can get somebody down there that can make the cut. That's really the biggie there.
Yeah, for sure. I would say first glance, the lower 7K range, I would try to stay there and stay away from the 6K range. But at the end of the day, our guru, Dad, Price Wallace, is not here with us today. So you want to go to dfsdads.com, especially check out Price's deep dive, where I'm going to hammer him home all week long of who should we be playing at these lower spots, because I have a pretty damn good idea in the 9K range and the 8K range that I really like, in the lower 7K. But I'm going to have to dip into my MMEs to the 6K range, and that's where Priceo, our boy Price, is going to step in and fill that void for us. But thanks for watching. Any last words, Dustin? What greens are we on? What greens are we playing on?
Pap something. Pap beer.
What is it?
Papsalum.
There we go. We'll take it.
We do got to do a little bet before we go, because it's kind of been
okay.
A standard deal. So you pick a range. I get to pick the golfer first.
Okay. All right.
Not 6,000, please.
8,600 to 88,000.
What? You can't just do that. Narrows it down so bad. You got to do like 85 to 9.
No, 8,600 to 8,000. That's 600. You're good. You told me pick the range. That's the range. 8,600 to 8,000.
I thought you said 9,000. I'll take Grillo
Dude, you can't just pick the guy I just hammered in the whole time first.
So did I. All right, let's go 85 to 9,000 then.
No, we'll do yours. We'll do what you did. Because you're gonna pick Corey Connors, and all my guys suck. All right, I will pick Joel Dahman. I'll pick your guy, and you can pick my Grillo guy. How about that?
No, I'll take Dahman, and you can't pick Grillo.
No, I'll pick Grillo then. What do you want, Dahman or Grillo? It's your call. You go first. Go.
Grillo.
Loser. All right, Dahman it is, baby. What are we gonna bet, Dustin?
I don't know. We'll have to figure it out.
All right. If you have anything, let us know in the comments below, or hit us up in the Slack with what you think the bet should be. If you're a premium member, if you watch it this far, we love y'all. Thank you so much.
Hold on. You lost, didn't you? What do you still owe? Thanks.
What do I owe?
I don't remember. Price still owes me a Wagyu steak too, though. So anyway, we'll figure it out. We'll get it squared away.
All right, let's go make some money, guys.